Degrees outside.
It is like 1,000 degrees here in Florida. I'm Sunny D.
And I'm Captain J.
And we're the pot smoking moms. Cranking that AC. Well, actually, we might start sweating before the end of the show.
It is really hot today.
Really
I'm
hot.
jumping in this pool after this show for sure.
And then we're like frying in the studio lights. No, just one studio light.
Lights, camera.
Light, camera.
I want a light
camera.
This, and it's going to be even hotter in here.
I know. Let's make things hotter. Hey, if you have something to smoke at home, we'd like to. This is a part of the show where we like to invite you to come and take some smoke with us.
And we both stuffed ourselves some cones for our pre-sesh with our patrons before the show. We both enjoyed some Cocoa Puffs.
We
have some cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
And I have a half a J left.
I have a little more. Let's see how far we go.
So we're a little toasty already from our pre-sesh with our patrons who are backstage enjoying the show.
Yeah. Hey, if you're not a patron, what are you waiting for?
Come hang out with us before the show. Go on some trips. Check out our website. Become a patron. Join our Discord community. It's lots of fun.
Yeah. Hey, and if you just listen to the show, we appreciate you. Thank you for that.
Share it and all
Give
that
us
stuff.
a little like, you know.
So tomorrow's Mother's Day.
Oh.
This recording will come out on the 22nd, but we're actually recording this right now, the day before Mother's Day. Do you have any plans special for Mother's Day tomorrow?
I'm going to go to my sister's house and chill, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. What Mother's Day is kind of like. It's just kind of like they're all Hallmark holidays just to kind of get you to spend stuff. But I got myself a little massager that I wanted since Christmas.
Ooh, very nice.
I know it's
you got it for yourself?
I got it for myself.
Nice. Good job.
For Mother's Day. Because I was like, well, I keep putting off this purchase. Let me just attach some meaning to it.
Yeah, I'm getting myself a Mother's Day gift.
Are you?
No, that's what I was.
You're like, yeah.
I got you.
Supporting that sentiment.
Now I feel like I should do the same for myself.
Fucking A.
In fact, we should all be doing that for ourselves.
Yeah, why not? Call it, listen. And it's the one that you see on TikTok Shop. I didn't get it from TikTok Shop because I was like, I'm going to go out of my way and not fucking buy shit from TikTok Shop. But it's the one that you put. I had seen it a long time ago.
Around your neck. Like
the one that you put around your neck and then you stick your hands like down here. Mm-hmm. The shiatsu.
Did you get it already?
I did.
Do you like it? Is it good?
It's good.
You should do a video review now and try to make money.
I don't know. Yeah, right. And then try to sell it on TikTok.
Did you buy it on Amazon?
I bought it on Amazon.
You could make money. They're trying to get people to do that shit now. They're desperate. They're competing with TikTok.
Well, I mean, nobody else is paying any money for anything. So y'all might see me trying to fucking sell some motherfucking shiatsu massages. Should go out on the street corner and try to sell some of them things on the street corner.
Oh my God.
Like they used to slang churros. Go out there and slang shiatsu machines for Mother's Day. Fuck these
street tacos
fucking these gift. Have you seen these like gift baskets that they sell Mother's Day off the side of the street?
Yeah, everywhere.
Fuck a gift basket. Shiatsu massagers for every mom.
I'm lucky that my family decided not to do anything wild and like go to like brunch or lunch or like.
Oh, we refused an invitation this morning.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They wanted to like brunch it,
right? And I was just like, "Yo, we ain't got that kind of money.
For real.
We're supposed to be traveling in a couple of weeks just to Orlando. We gotta save our money for that and for what? I always feel like when we do restaurant outings with our family." Mm-hmm. You go, you eat, and you leave. And it's just like, what the fuck? You know, I mean, whatever. Do it at your house so that y'all can hang out, play some games. This business about showing up at a restaurant and leaving, what's the whole point of that?
Yeah, I agree. It's a waste of money and you don't really get to spend quality time. But we're just going to do like going to my abuela's house. So we're all going there and we're going to go in the pool.
Yeah,
hang out. And my uncle said he'll pay for catering.
Hell yeah, Unc.
There we go. He's the rich one in the family.
Our uncle.
It's the least you can do.
The uncle in our family is going to be.
He's over with all the boomer money.
Asado is going to be making Argentinian barbecue, which trust me, I'm here for it.
Argentinian
I'm there for
barbecue.
it.
That sounds amazing.
Have you ever had an asado?
I don't know.
Yo, we should. Yeah.
We should throw down.
Yeah, we should throw down. It's fun.
We actually have a patron coming to visit soon.
We should throw the grill out.
We're gonna do a beach meetup, right?
Yeah. I wonder if we could throw a grill on that by that pool.
I think you're allowed to grill there if you're a person staying there.
Perhaps. I just, hotels be like fucking with all these rules and shit. Oh my God. Hotels be with all these rules and shit. There was a video that came up. Yeah, they usually do. Like our timeshare out there in Hollywood has it too. I saw this video come up of this lady staying at an Airbnb and like showing all the post-it notes. Did you see this video?
Post-it notes. There's
post-it notes on the pool table and says it's extra to use the pool table. There's a post-it note on the fucking washing machine.
What?
It's $5 every time you do a load of laundry.
How are they gonna
There's
know?
Another post-it note, right? And that's the next thing I'm gonna bring up. There's a fucking post-it note because I had to like pause the video to look at read all the post-it notes. There's one on the fucking toilet that tells you not to shit in the fucking toilet.
It can't be real. Somebody made this up. This is not real.
So then the lady records herself calling up the lady of the house going, "Hi, Airbnb is charging me like $700 for extra fees. Can we like talk about why you're charging me for the pool table?" She's like, "You used the pool table 2 times." And the lady's like, "Well, let's not even talk about me using the pool table. How do you know I used the pool table?" "Oh, because the stuff wasn't in the place where you left it." And the lady's like, "When we use things, we put it back where we found it. How do you know I played 2 rounds?"
Yeah, specifically
2
rounds
of fucking like, go fuck yourself.
That's eerie as fuck.
Yeah. So people in the comments are like, "Lady, you need to bring your lawyer in.
This can't be real.
You need to bring your lawyer in and talk about how the fuck she's seeing you guys do this shit, because that's like illegal surveillance." Anyway, I thought that was interesting. People going off. I would have arrived at the Airbnb, I would have sent Airbnb an email and said, "I'm not fucking staying here. You better refund me my money." Show video of all of the stupid ass post-it notes, and I would have checked my ass into a Holiday Inn. Fuck all that shit. Post-it notes. There's a chair. Jay, there was a chair.
No.
There was one chair that had a sign on it that said, "Please do not sit in this chair. This is my deceased husband's favorite chair." Are you kidding me? I would have read that Airbnb. I would have been like, "Deuces, I ain't staying in this haunted fucking house."
That can't be real.
I swear to you.
It can't be real. I feel like this person made all this up for content.
Whatever.
That is just unreal.
No way. Anyways, let's talk about this. What about Met Gala? Did you see that fucking
you mean
debacle?
Hunger Games?
Oh my God, for real. Everybody in their Hunger Games outfit.
The Capitol. Honestly, my For You page has been flooded with
haterade,
Met Gala stuff.
Yeah, about
Pass the Hat. Just the protests in the universities.
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and like eat the rich, right? As I've always said, fuck them rich people. Like all you guys are starting to realize.
Talking about $75,000 a ticket to attend this.
$75,000. You know how many people's lives can change with $75,000?
What's crazy is that it's like a fundraiser, but like for a museum. Like honestly, it wouldn't
for rich people.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be such a horrible thing if they were fundraising for a better cause. Like if that money was going to save families coming out of Gaza, or going to feed the homeless, or just, being reinvested into some kind of community or aid that's needed somewhere. People would be more about it. Like, yeah, go off, dress up, make it a thing, make it beautiful, because all that money is going to something purposeful.
Right. But we've lost the fucking. It's just like everything is out in the open. Like we could see everything now. And it's just like, what are we doing here? And to me, just like I always talk about how awards are so fucking phony. Awards are fake. who is the one doing all the judging? Because it's not like a general consensus of the people. It's like we have hired people to vote, and it's just like, for who? Who does this benefit? But the fucking big Hollywood circle jerk of everybody just like, yeah, you're great, I'm great, we're great, you're great, I'm great, we're great. And it's just like a show for nothing. It doesn't make any sense anymore. And all of us are just like so sick of it. And then Liz, everybody's like, block all the celebrities, which like, okay, you guys are like, you're all about it. We were talking about this before.
I think it's a good
idea.
Yeah.
I just don't think we need to spend that much energy other than like, yeah, if you see a celebrity who's trying to sell you something, but this is the thing, whatever,
when people organize and they all decide at the same time, we're gonna block this particular person, and there's a like, it's noticeable, it's impactful, and it's been happening. And now you see these celebrities like scrambling to try to say something now.
You think they're all scrambling to try to say something now?
Some of them have. You know, I saw the Lizzo one myself.
Yeah, so the Lizzo
I was like,
one.
Black.
So the Lizzo one. The Lizzo one was
Lizzo, please. You can easily pay off most of those GoFundMes yourself.
And this is a thing that I think is interesting. It wasn't just one GoFundMe. It was like she had like a bunch of green screens ready to fucking flash up different GoFundMes.
Yeah. Like how much did she give? I'm wondering. And like,
yeah, and where was this energy before people started blocking your face?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
This has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, and everybody in the comments is like, well, she has enough money to pay some of these off. And it's true. Like, but that's the thing. What's the point, right? So we're all giving them shit because, oh, you're not using your platform for like stuff you should be using it for.
Mm-hmm.
So then they come out and they like try to pretend to do something, but they at the same time they're like, oh, we don't constantly want to be promoting all of the charities we give to and all of the this and the that, because then we're doing it to show off. So it's like a catch-22. Like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
That every day matters for these people.
Yeah, I agree, and then it's like, whatever. It's just the back and forth with the, what are y'all doing?
Like and then she tries to say the celebrity. She did some video about celebrities don't have as much power as you think.
Celebrities don't have as much power as you guys think.
Yeah, they could make a big difference when they speak up and they try to.
People are paying you to be at places, girl.
Mm-hmm.
People are paying you to be at places. People are, and I was like, oh my god, you have all everyday that energy.
Content creators trying harder than any celebrity, trying to save families, like getting families assigned to them, making content, trying to raise money.
Right.
And while these celebrities could easily get some of their rich people to save a bunch of families like this.
Yeah. Anyways, block all those celebrities. Not like we haven't been doing. I've been blocking since the end of last year. A lot of people who are very confused with, I don't know, with what they are in the world. A lot of people think the world revolves around them. And it's just like, no. Next. Anyways, there's also been like a lot of talk about, which we'll talk a little bit later, but a lot of the Schedule 3 talk about in the marijuana and the weed world.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, should we make a statement? Should we not? I don't know.
That takes us right into News Nugs.
Yeah. Do you want to just get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get into News Nugs then. I'm going to relight this. News Nugs, where we get high and read the news to you.
So, as Dee was just saying, we heard the news, we heard the headlines about them rescheduling marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3.
You know, it's the Hail Mary where presidential candidacy is up for grabs. So here we go with the Hail Mary and the Schedule 3.
Yeah. And that just like a week after that announcement, there's this story coming out. And now it says, DEA appears to question marijuana's medical value despite rescheduling recommendation. Although like the rescheduling is actually acknowledging the medical value. So this is a very contradictory headline.
Right.
So in the wake of the federal government's marijuana rescheduling announcement last week that acknowledged the medical benefits of cannabis, the Drug Enforcement Administration on Thursday released a report that appears to question the legitimacy of state medical programs. Marijuana remains illegal at the federal level. It has been legalized or decriminalized at the state level for recreational use in 24 states and the District of Columbia, and for medical use in 38 states and the District of Columbia. The annual National Drug Threat Assessment says, appearing to call those state level changes and the medical value of cannabis into question by putting scare quotes around keywords. That's despite the fact that DEA recently agreed to Department of Health and Human Services recommendation to move cannabis to Schedule 3 of the Controlled Substances Act, acknowledging for the first time that cannabis has an accepted medical use in the U.S. The comments make up only a part of the 57-page annual report, which the agency said analyzes illicit drug threats and trafficking trends endangering the United States.
The top-level findings, according to a statement from DEA Administrator Ann Milgram, are that the country's shift towards synthetic substances such as fentanyl and methamphetamine, which she blamed largely on international cartels, has caused unprecedented harm. The shift from plant-based drugs like heroin and cocaine to synthetic chemical-based drugs like fentanyl and methamphetamine has resulted in the most dangerous and deadly drug crisis in the United States has ever faced, Milgram said. At the heart of the synthetic drug crisis are the Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels and their associates who DEA is tracking worldwide. The suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, and money launderers all play a role in the web of deliberate and calculated treachery orchestrated by these cartels, her statement continued. DEA will continue to use all available resources to target these networks and save American lives. In 2022, drug-related deaths killed 107,941 people in the United States. DEA said in its press release about the new assessment. Fentanyl and other synthetic opioids are responsible for approximately 70% of lives lost, it says, while methamphetamine and other synthetic stimulants are responsible for approximately 30% of deaths.
What does any of this have to do with weed?
Right. I think are they trying to get to, is the point like, oh, weed is going to help alleviate all of these higher death-related problems like the fentanyl and all that shit?
The agency press release doesn't mention marijuana through this year's National Drug Threat Assessment. Itself does include some cannabis-related details, unlike unregulated markets or for synthetic drugs. For example, the DEA report said the main suppliers of illicit marijuana are cannabis growers and processors operating inside the United States. Despite state-level regulation in many states, the black market for marijuana continues for substantial trafficking by Mexican cartels and Chinese and other Asian organized crime groups profiting from illegal cultivation and sales, as well as exploitation of the legal market. Recently released federal data from 2023, however, showed that marijuana seizures at the U.S.-Mexico border have in fact fallen to their lowest level in recent history, dropping 29% from 2022. The 2023 figures mark a 98% decline in cannabis intercepted at the southern border since 2013.
DA's report says that while the Sinaloa cartel does collect billions of dollars in the illicit synthetic trade, it also has never stopped trafficking cocaine, heroin, and marijuana. The Jalisco cartel, meanwhile, which DEA credits as the main supplier of cocaine to U.S. markets, also trafficked ton quantities of heroin and marijuana into the United States. A separate recent budget submitted from DEA to congressional lawmakers reflected the agency's focus on synthetic substances, primarily fentanyl, noting that the ongoing drug overdose epidemic, which includes the deaths from substances many users didn't realize they were taking, claims lives at a rate of 1 every 5 minutes. Marijuana and psilocybin are mentioned only briefly as subjects of further federally approved research.
Okay.
DEA's National Drug Threat Assessment also points to evidence from the University of Mississippi's Marijuana Potency Monitoring Program, indicating that the average Delta-9 THC levels in leafy marijuana is at an all-time high, increasing the potential risk of negative effects on users of any form of the drug and on children who may consume edibles made with these substances.
I mean, weed is way stronger than it used to be, for sure. Like back, like think about like the weed back in the day, or like back in our parents' days.
I don't know. I can't really compare. I don't have an artifact from back in the day to compare to.
You never bought that brick weed that was
Yeah,
like,
it was terrible. I mean,
it was like literally
I
a
feel
brick.
like weed has gotten better.
You get like a slice of it.
Is it more potent? I mean, it's better. It's definitely better than that shit we
and I
used
do
to
think it's
smoke.
stronger.
Could be.
So, an included graph citing the University of Mississippi program shows average THC rising from around 1% in 1977. 1%.
Also, what are we testing though here? Exactly. This is fucking what are we testing?
16% in 2022. THC edibles, meanwhile, are leading to an increase in child and adolescent admissions to emergency rooms, the DEA report says. Despite warning letters issued for products containing federally unregulated Delta-8 THC, which is typically derived from hemp crops, authorized under the 2018 Farm Bill, the agency said that the concern remains that children will unknowingly eat THC-infused products regardless of warning labels, because the product mimics the appearance of the actual product and the packages look nearly identical to the legitimate product's packaging. I do agree. I don't like that those edibles that copy like
right. That copy existing. That's another
candies.
thing. It's lazy too. Like, why are you gonna wanna? Why don't you make something
if you take
new?
the candy to make something, but like don't call it the same
right
like, weed version of it. Like label it something else, make it look different, and make it obviously different. I don't know. And
more than just the words THC.
Yeah.
Not for children. Like it's gotta be.
An included photo from the Lancaster County Drug Task Force in Pennsylvania shows a variety of Delta-8 THC products labeled with the name products such as Ruffles, Cookie Crisp, Nerds, and Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Yeah, like the DEA reports does not clarify that products on the state-regulated marijuana markets are almost universally prohibited from mimicking mainstream food products, including depictions of cartoon animals or otherwise appealing to children. Additionally, the DEA says says in its threat assessment that illegal cannabis grows can wreak havoc on the environment.
Illegal outdoor marijuana grows, usually found on public lands, use toxic fertilizers and pest repellents that endanger non-pest wildlife, damage surrounding plants, and seep into water supplies, the report says. These sites are mainly located in remote, difficult-to-access areas and can be expensive for cultivators to maintain, but are also challenging for law enforcement to detect and eradicate. Indoor cultivation, it continues, can operate year-round and offer the drug traffickers continuous profit stream, but could severely damage the homes where the grows are established, creating health and safety hazards to first responders. The document is largely silent on psychedelics, which have also become the subject of reform discussions at the state and federal levels. It acknowledges the substances in a section on new psychoactive substances. Several of these novel drugs have actually been around for decades, but experience periodic surges in popularity or return to the illegal drug market with tweaks after the original substance was banned or controlled.
It says.
Among others, such as MDMA, various plant-based substances also fall into this category, such as psilocybin, ayahuasca, salvia divinorum, magic mint. Oh, those are the names. Magic mint, Sally D. I never heard of that. And cat.
And cat. What is that?
KHAT.
Does anybody know what that is?
Yeah,
magic mint, Sally D.
Yeah, salvia.
Is that what they call salvia divinorum?
Right. Those are like those
are the nicknames for salvia.
Right.
I've heard of salvia.
I've heard of salvia, but I never heard of magic mint, Sally D.
I've never heard those names.
And then cat.
I don't know whatever that is.
Far from being a new substance, however, human use of psilocybin is believed to go back thousands of years.
Yeah, duh. We know that.
The existence of psilocybin mushrooms,
we too,
meanwhile, may stretch back to the time of the dinosaurs' demise, according to research released earlier this year. And we end on dinosaurs. And the whole article ends on motherfucking dinosaurs.
How does that article have to do with the headline that it says that the DEA is not a...
Which, again...
seems to be countering the medical value of... Just because they're prosecuting against marijuana in a lot of these cases, like... I don't understand that headline.
Yeah, I don't know what the
How
correlation is. How is that?
That was a deceiving headline, I feel.
I feel like a lot of times that it happens. We do that a lot. We read it and then we're like, where's this fucking going? I know. We have so many casualties of war with the mic head. I got hit it earlier today.
The next story. Okay. This is another headline that got me. That I was like, we got to read this.
Yeah, which is like, well, how much
story is
the contents of the story going to apply to the headline, which reads,
Cannabis can help treat female orgasmic disorder. Study finds as Ohio officials consider adding it as a qualifying condition.
Which I'm like,
what is?
Yeah.
Okay, my
can we
first
look up orgasmic
what is
disorder?
Orgasmic disorder.
What
I'm sure they're gonna tell us. I'm sure they're gonna tell us,
and I'm sure it's gonna be vague as fuck because it could only be vague as fuck. How many? I could name 80 things that can qualify it as orgasmic disorder. The fuck is that? And who was there going? Which group of ladies got together and was like, "Oh no, shit,
it was definitely
they're gonna pay."
This is definitely created by a man.
By a man, you think? Oh, you think a man was like, "Oh, she definitely needs weed. Something wrong with her. She ain't getting no orgasm. She has a disorder, and we're gonna give her some weed for it."
It's her problem, not mine.
What would be? We should do one for guys. We should write a spoof fucking news report and be like, weed for wieners. We should just, hey, is your dick not working? Smoke some weed. Like, what are we fucking doing here?
Okay. Let's read what this female orgasmic disorder is.
Can't wait to unpack this one.
Okay. Ahead of a decision by the Ohio officials on whether to add female orgasmic disorder as a qualifying condition for the state's medical marijuana program, a new study highlights the benefits that researchers say cannabis could offer.
What? I'm not even saying anything. I'm just existing.
I see your face.
I'm doing the puppet face.
Yes. Where was I? Researchers say cannabis could offer people with the condition, including increased orgasm ease and satisfaction.
Oh, duh.
I mean, everybody knows weed's great for enhancing.
Some guy figured it out and was like, we should write this down.
I figured that shit out when I was a teenager. I was like, no, let's get high first.
Write this down. We should tell the world about it. And meanwhile, we're all like, yeah, bro, we already know, guy. Chill out.
All right. So the 10-page study published in the journal Sexual Medicine draws on a 2022 survey of sexually active women who used cannabis. Among those who experienced challenges in achieving orgasm, more than 7 in 10 said cannabis increased orgasm ease, 71%, and frequency, 72.9%. And 2/3, 67%, said it improved orgasm satisfaction.
67% were like, yeah, okay.
The results corroborate 50 years of anecdotal and learned speculation about cannabis helping women with FOD. The paper says the research found that cannabis used increased orgasm frequency, eased orgasm difficulty, and improved orgasm satisfaction. At the same time, the results opened in a new areas of discussion. For example, results of the survey found that women with one or more mental health diagnoses who use cannabis before partnered sex had a more positive orgasm response, regardless of whether they have FOD. I mean, obviously.
What is FOD? Wait. Is FOD is
the
what does it go back up there?
Orgasmic disorder, female orgasmic disorder.
Female orgasmic disorder. Okay. What was I? It was the mental health diagnosis.
Yeah.
Right. Had a more positive. Well,
but that makes sense because, like, if it's anxiety, I mean, it helps you relax,
right?
And if you're able to relax, you can get out of your head and be more in the moment and present with what's going on,
right?
Which is, I think that's normal for most women having a problem doing that when you have a bunch of shit going on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
a more positive orgasm response, regardless of whether they have
FOD.
female orgasmic disorder.
Which authors noticed was consistent with research finding that women with FOD experience high rates of mental health diagnoses, prescription drug use, or PTSD.
Oh, come on. Who are we kidding? All of us have mental
Yeah,
disorders
I feel
at
like
this
everybody,
point.
definitely.
At this point, y'all have fucked the system and we're a part of it, and we all have mental issues we're dealing with.
100%.
Cannabis-related treatment appears to provide benefit to women who have female orgasm difficulties or dysfunction. Anxiety was one area of significant overlap with FOD. Women with anxiety disorders represented 44%, 172 out of 387, of women in this study, the research found. They were 3.5 times, I don't know, I always see 3.5 grams, I'm thinking. They were 3.5 times more likely to have FOD than non-anxious women. Another new finding was that using marijuana resulted in more orgasms for women who were survivors of sexual abuse. Well, we use this for PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
Sexual abuse survivors' number one sexual complaint is orgasm difficulty, the report says, coupled with high rates of PTSD. This study revealed that 33% more women with sexual abuse histories reported FOD than women without FOD. THC in cannabis could be helping in those situations by reducing activity in the hippocampus and amygdala, the parts of the brain that store and react to traumatic memories, authors wrote. This activity may play a role in extinguishing traumatic memories and results in a more positive orgasm experience. A separate report from the same dataset by the same authors, clinical sexologists, that's a title to have, Suzette Mulvihill and Jordan Tischler, a doctor at the Association of Cannabinoid Specialists and the company, Inhale MD, was published in March by the Journal of Sexual Medicine in a shorter 2-page form.
It's called Cannabis May Be a Treatment for Women with Difficulty Achieving Orgasm During Partnered Sex. That's the name of the story. The latest publication comes ahead of a board meeting on Wednesday of Ohio State Medical Board, where a medical marijuana committee has been considering adding FOD as a qualifying condition for the state's medical cannabis program. Following a meeting of that committee, the full board may vote on the proposal, Mulvihill told Marijuana Moment in an email. Mulvihill has been one of the leaders behind state-level efforts to recognize female orgasmic disorder as a qualifying condition for the medical marijuana and submitted the Ohio petition last year that led to the forthcoming vote. Okay. I feel like every woman can qualify for FOD to get some weed, okay?
I mean, at this
but
point,
like, how do you even like qualify for that shit? Like, who diagnoses you with FOD? Like your psychologist, psychiatrist, or whatever?
I feel like it's overlap. I feel like one is kind of a result from another thing. So yeah, I don't know that this. I mean, like, hey, if you need more reasons to you smoke weed. I mean, this would be another reason.
The state medical board announced in February that FOD, along with autism spectrum disorder, would move forward for expert review and public comment following submission of the petitions. As for how marijuana might benefit people with FOD, the new sexual medicine report points to a few possible theories. Among them is dishabitation theory, the idea that cannabis lessens the routine of habits such as cognitive distraction and known FOD cause.
Neuroplasticity theory, meanwhile, proposes that some women learn to orgasm while using cannabis, as seen in comments in the study and anecdotally. Cannabis and endocannabinoids, the cannabinoids created by the human body, are increasingly recognized for their roles in neural development processes, including brain cell growth and neuroplasticity, the study says. The frequency of cannabis use before partnered sex correlated with increased orgasm frequency for women who experience difficulties achieving orgasm. The research found that cannabis use did not help all women orgasm. Among survey respondents, it's like not going to work 100% of the times, just going to help a little bit. Because of the survey methodology, the report says findings may not be generalizable to women who rarely use or do not use cannabis before sex, women who have never had an orgasm, or women who do not have female genitalia. Further, the study did not something, the type of amount of cannabis used. I don't know. They're missing something.
Further, the
there.
study didn't not. Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
type or amount of cannabis used. That's how the story was.
Not our fault. Marijuana moment.
Amid the growing evidence, Ohio is one of at least 4 states that have considered adding FOD as a qualifying condition this year, along with Illinois, New Mexico, and Connecticut. Everyone, I'm surprised people actually care about women orgasming.
Right, I know. Don't they?
orgasms.
I mean, they're squashing all the other shit our body does. We might as well they might as well be against orgasms at this point with all the fucking shit they're doing.
In March, officials in Illinois voted in favor of the addition. In order to be formally enacted, the State Medical Cannabis Advisory Board's new recommendation will need to be approved by the State Department of Health. New Mexico regulators are expected to hold a hearing on the issue this month, and Connecticut is planning to review a similar proposal through a meeting date has not yet been set. There's growing evidence that marijuana can improve sexual function regardless of sex or gender. A study last year in the Journal of Cannabis Research found that more than 70% of survey adults said cannabis before sex increased desire and improved orgasms, while 62.5% said cannabis enhanced pleasure while masturbating.
Now, have you ever looked at the back
Very
of a $5 bill on weed? No, I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, bro. What do you mean? Come on.
Because past findings indicated women who have sex with men are typically less likely to orgasm.
Wow. They're really putting you on blast, guys. So much so that the husband's like, what's happening in there? Came in through the door like, what are these bitches screaming about?
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I love that. Because past findings indicated women who have sex with men are typically less likely to orgasm than their partners, authors of that study said cannabis can potentially close the orgasm inequality gap.
Wow.
A
2020 study in the journal Sexual Medicine, meanwhile, found that women who used cannabis more often had better sex.
All signs point to smoke the fucking weed. I don't know.
That sentence was great. I'm sorry.
It sounds. Frame that. Numerous online surveys have also reported positive associations between marijuana and sex. People be writing shit like no one's ever heard of this before.
Like everybody
They're like,
knows.
guys, weed. Who knew?
They did say it backs up like years and years of anecdotal, like
evidence,
everybody's known this shit.
One study even found a connection between the passage of marijuana laws and increased sexual activity.
Oh yeah, you see?
Oh yeah.
They want more babies, I guess.
I mean, shit.
Make weed legal.
I mean, it's gonna, well,
Federally.
They're gonna have to make all kinds of things legal again. Yet another study, however, cautions that more marijuana doesn't necessarily mean better sex.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here comes the other guy, the opposing guy. He's like, yeah, actually, I have another study that says differently. A literature review published in 2019 found that cannabis's impact on libido may depend on dosage, with lower amounts of THC correlating with the highest levels of arousal and satisfaction. Most studies showed that marijuana has a positive effect on women's sexual function. The study found, but too much THC can actually backfire.
I feel like we've read that before.
It's true. I mean, the
last time we had like a sexy
balance.
Yeah.
It's a balance, y'all.
Because you're just knocked out of sleep or something.
Just like they have whiskey dick, you don't want to have weed wiener.
Weed.
Several studies have evaluated the effects of marijuana on libido, and it seems that changes in desire may be dose dependent, the review's authors wrote. Studies support that lower doses improve desire, but higher doses either lower desire, do not affect desire at all. You start desiring cookies and ice cream, then you get too full, and then you're too tired. Oh. Part of what cannabis appears to do to improve orgasms is interact with and disrupt the brain's default mode network. Tischler Mulehill's co-author told Marijuana Moment in an interview earlier this year. For many of these women who cannot or do not have an orgasm, there's some complex interplay between the frontal lobe, which is kind of the should have, would have, could have part of the brain, And then the limbic system, which is the emotional, fear, bad memories, anger, those sorts of things, he said. That's all moderated through the default mode network. Gotta rewire up there.
Or they just maybe have, I don't know. Yeah. Modulating the default mode network is also central to many psychedelic assisted therapies. And some research has indicated that those substances too may improve sexual pleasure and function. A paper earlier this year in the journal Nature Scientific Reports, which purported to be the first scientific study to formally explore the effects of psychedelics on sexual functioning, found that drugs such as psilocybin, mushrooms, and LSD could have beneficial effects on sexual functioning even months after use.
Bam! Like Emerald Lagasse says,
eat
bam!
More See, doing drugs.
Yeah, drugs,
like in
guys.
moderation.
All signs point to drugs. Drugs are bad, actually.
I took the drugs and the drugs are working.
Yeah, I took the drugs and the drugs are working.
On the surface, this type of research may seem quirky, one of the authors of that study said, but the psychological aspects of sexual function, including how we think about our own bodies, our attraction to our partners, and our ability to connect to people intimately, are all important to psychological well-being and sexually active adults.
Have you seen the video? I had seen this video on I want to say Instagram Reels, and it was a lady who was like, the foreplay isn't just like the sex stuff that you do.
100%.
The foreplay is like the intellectual, conversation, the you doing things for me without me asking. Like, it's just like all of it. It's like that's the foreplay, is all the stuff leading into the I want to sexually, whatever, be with you. So
it's true.
Interesting. We should, you're talking about how we need interviews.
In the bedroom.
Foreplay does not start in the bedroom. The more you know. We should. You're talking about we need more interviews. We need to get somebody to talk to us about, I guess, sex, right? Like, we had somebody
sexy time person?
Yeah, right. Tell us, would you like some sexy time person to come and tell us all about it? We're like 13. We're like 13. But anyways, this is interesting. I mean, it's not news to us.
I just found it funny that I saw these two. I was like, let me see what Florida cannabis news has come out.
Oh,
these two stories were basically on Marijuana Moment within like days of each other.
So are we kicking it off to our next segment?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh. I love you, Miami.
I love you, Miami.
Did you see we had a patron hit us up and sent us something she found while going through her shit? It was like an old Livan Hernandez bobblehead.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, we should buy it from her so we could put it with our stuff back here. Yeah, I mean, he needs to, we need a little Livan back here. I never thought about that. I just thought about the buying it off of her thing. It's like all that stuff you saved because you thought it was going to be worth a lot of money from the fucking Marlins.
We had what's his name? I don't remember his name now. The pitcher. His bobblehead for a long time.
I don't know about baseball.
One of them's. Anyway, so when I was looking up for like Florida cannabis stories, it's the same story. Everybody's trying to get this ballot measure. The campaigns are going hard. They want people to vote.
They want you to vote. Wreck.
So there's been all these polls, right? So one headline is Florida marijuana legalization measure has enough support to pass in internal polling. CEO of company funding campaign says.
Yeah, I like the end of that sentence. CEO of company funding says. Nothing's on fire. What are you talking about?
So, and then like the very next day, I believe, I can't tell right now from the screenshots, the following story is like another poll. Because last week that we did this show, we talked about a couple polls that came out. Apparently, another poll since then has come out that shows Florida marijuana legalization ballot initiative just shy of support for passage. So both articles discuss the current state of support for Florida marijuana legalization ballot initiative. The first article highlights a poll commissioned by the Florida Chamber of Commerce, which indicates that 58% of likely voters support the measure, falling just short of the 60% threshold required for passage.
We said that.
It mentions opposition from the Chamber of Commerce and Governor Ron DeSantis, as we all know, who argues legalization would decrease the state's quality of life. The article also notes financial estimates and details about the initiative, including restrictions on how it has no home cultivation and the absence of equity provisions for individuals with the prior cannabis
It's a
convictions.
shitty bill. It's a shitty bill. We're all kind of upset about it.
So, in contrast, the other article is on. You want to read it?
In contrast, the second article by the same author features an interview with Trulieve CEO Kim Rivers, the main financial backer of the initiative, who disputes the recent poll findings.
Mm-hmm.
She'll dispute a lot of things. Rivers claims internal polling shows support for the measure well over 60%, closer to 70%, which I don't know. I kind of agree with her.
I think it might be polling bad. Like, where are they getting their numbers
Right,
from?
exactly. The numbers, where are you getting them from? Because that matters too.
Yeah.
With strong bipartisan backing. She criticizes the methodology of recent polls and emphasizes a potential market opportunity for her company if legalization occurs. The article echoes details about the initiative's provisions and financial backing, but adds insights into Rivers' perspective and disputes over polling accuracy.
So what do you guys think? Do you think it's strong enough to make 60% of voters say yes and it get passed? I think it could.
I think we should have our own poll within our community here and find out what people think Florida-wise, because there's two sides, right? There's a lot of people who are like, well, just rec is rec, just pass the rec. But then there's the homegrown homeboys who are like, well, that's just fucking everybody else over. Like, why would we vote yes for rec blindly when we know that there's other things that need to be built into this? And other places have done it before. Like, you see the way that other states have done this. Why can't we get the best things from those states? But it's like, who has the money is going to be the one who pushes the thing.
Honestly, I don't think he'll get another chance again if it doesn't pass for a long time in Florida.
I mean, we've seen and we know firsthand what it takes to get this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why it's like, well, you either vote for this or you wait for it to be federally legal, which
basically,
I don't think is going to happen anytime soon.
I don't feel like it's going to happen. All this bullshit with the rescheduling, it's all just...
Yeah, it's all pushing la mierda back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
The rescheduling, all that does, and let's be clear here, we haven't really gone celebrating or anything. Like, yeah, it's cool. But at the same time,
it's a step in the right direction because they would be acknowledging.
But it's the dangling carrot.
Value, excuse me.
But it's the dangling carrot because it doesn't really do anything other than give the companies who are running the business already, who are making the money already, get bigger tax cuts.
But if it's Schedule 3, like, couldn't even like pharmacies begin dispensing cannabis technically? It would be controlled like other substances in that schedule.
Right, but you would have to have all the paperwork and you would have to have done all the legal things in order to sell the weed in the first place anyway. So pharmacy won't be able to sell the weed unless it has all of the, unless they have a license, a weed license. Excuse me.
Well, that's how it was. But now that it's being descheduled, maybe something, you don't know how that affects everything else.
Well,
not descheduled, rescheduled. It should be
the
descheduled.
bottom line is it doesn't affect us directly because none of the people who have been locked up for this shit is gonna get out. This is not gonna do anything for any of that.
No,
people are still gonna get locked up and put in jail for it. It's very pick and choose. Fuck that shit. Like, I don't know
what it even brings. It when it happens.
It's a catch-22.
It's also like a process. It's not like, oh, okay, now it's Schedule 3. No, it wasn't even that. It was just like, oh, we're okay with that happening. We got to see about it.
Right.
We actually talked a little bit about the rescheduling down to 3 with Sydney, who is going to be on our guest interview for next week. So make sure you tune in next week. We have Sydney Parlier, the founder and CEO of Cannabis, on next week's episode. So yeah, make sure you check in with us for that.
Yeah, and we're still doing the thing where we do an episode of us one week, and then we try to give you an interview the following week. And one person has voiced their dissatisfaction with that. We love that. Keep it coming. If you don't like this shit, tell us. We see the numbers, but we don't hear you guys. So whoever is still listening, let us know what you think.
Give us some suggestions on what kind of interviews you would like to hear from. Yeah. Like what kind of.
And we love it if you guys send us some people you would like to have on our show,
person,
or
like we said.
If you have somebody who you'd like to have on the show, shoot them our way. We would love to, have interview people you guys are interested in talking to. So absolutely hit us up. Let us know what your feelings are. And definitely stick around next week to hear our interview with Sydney. It was really fun talking to her. A lot of times interviews are very effortless and chill and very nice. And, they're like nice, and sometimes it's like pulling teeth, but we've been very lucky to have a lot of really great guests on the show.
Yeah, we have.
And so definitely check out next week's interview. And if you haven't checked out last week's interview,
you should.
Please check out last week's interview. We love you guys. We appreciate you listening. Hey, patrons.
Special thank you to our patrons. We wouldn't be doing this without your support.
Yes.
You guys really encourage us to keep going. Thank you so much. Yanni,
Destiny,
Lauren,
Christy,
Denise,
Peaches,
Meredith,
Natalie,
Angelina,
Jenner,
Catherine,
Jesse,
Diane,
Leslie,
and Stephanie. Thanks so much, guys. We really appreciate it. You guys keep us going, and we have the best time whenever we do get together. If you want to become a patron, check out our website, potsmokymoms.com. Become a part of our online community, our Discord server, and our online sessions. Learn about our mom trips first and more.
Yeah, subscribe, rate, review. It's time. What is it? It's time to put the bombs away. We've reached the end of the show.
And then the actual outro. Bye, guys.
Bye.